The sun may still be blazing over Genoa City, but there's a storm brewing beneath the surface. Whispers on the young and the restless hint that summer won't end without one last shocking tragedy, and fans are left wringing their hands, asking, who's next to meet their final fate? The writers have been sprinkling ominous foreshadowing throughout recent episodes. Dark glances, cryptic dialogue, sudden confessions, signs that something or someone is about to give. A death this late in the season doesn't just add drama, it reshapes the chessboard of Genoa City's power players. Let's take a closer look at who could be on the chopping block and how their potential demise would ripple through the lives of everyone they touch. 1. Audra Charles, too many enemies, too little time. Audra has built quite the reputation in a short amount of time. Smart, sleek, and unapologetically ambitious, she has managed to seduce, manipulate, and double-cross nearly everyone in her orbit. But as every longtime viewer knows, Genoa City has a way of punishing those who climb too quickly. Kyle's scheming against her, Nikki doesn't trust her, and Tucker isn't above throwing her to the wolves if it serves his own interests. If Audra were to suddenly meet a tragic end, say, an accident staged as revenge, it wouldn't just be a shocking twist. It would ignite a whodunit storyline with half the town as suspects. Was it a jealous rival? A spurned lover? Or perhaps Tucker himself, eliminating loose ends before his empire slips through his fingers? Audra's death would also throw the business world into chaos, as she's entangled with Newman Media and the Abbott family alike. And chaos, after all, is the lifeblood of this soap. 2. Chance Chancellor, the hero who could fall. Chance has spent months walking a tightrope between law enforcement duty and messy personal entanglements. Always the protector, always the noble one. But his halo has started to tilt, especially as he grows closer to Summer while still carrying unresolved feelings for Sharon. What if his next big case turns deadly? Chance could easily wind up the sacrificial lamb, dying in the line of duty while trying to protect someone he loves. His death would be heartbreaking, but also poetic. Sharon would once again lose a man she cared about, Summer's heart would shatter, and Nina would rage against the cruelty of fate stealing her son. A loss like that wouldn't just hurt, it would scar. And YNR thrives on scars that never quite heal. 3. Phyllis Summers, 9 lives. But are they running out? If Genoa City had a patron saint of faking death, it would be Phyllis. She has cheated death more times than fans can count, and each return has been bigger and bolder than the last. But could the show finally pull the rug out from under viewers and make her next brush with death permanent? Phyllis has been spiraling ever since her disastrous scheme against Diane backfired. Her children are exasperated, her friends keep their distance, and her enemies, well, they're always watching. If Phyllis were to be written out in a fiery blaze of glory, it would devastate Daniel and Summer, and perhaps even Diane, whose victory over her nemesis would taste more bitter than sweet. The question isn't whether Phyllis deserves redemption, it's whether she'll live long enough to find it. 4. Victor Newman, the unthinkable? Let's tread carefully here. Victor Newman is the backbone of the young and the restless. His name alone commands respect, his presence shapes every storyline, and his legacy stretches across decades. But what if the writers are preparing fans for the unthinkable? Victor has been reflecting more often, speaking about family, legacy, and the future of his empire. It almost feels like a swan song building in the background. Imagine the impact if Victor were to die suddenly by heart attack, betrayal, or even murder. The Newmans would implode, scrambling for control. Nikki would be shattered. Adam, Victoria, and Nick would all claw at the throne, tearing the family apart in ways Victor himself never could. His death would be the single most earth-shattering event in soap history, redefining the show itself. Is YNR ready for that? Maybe not this summer, but fans can't ignore the shadows of foreshadowing creeping in. 5. Ashley Abbott, lost in her own mind. Ashley's recent unraveling has left viewers unsettled. Her fractured mental state, the blurred lines between past trauma and present reality, it's a ticking time bomb. What if Ashley's journey ends not in recovery, but in tragedy? Her death, accidental or intentional, would devastate Jack and Tracy, and send ripples through the Abbott family as they question whether they could have saved her. Tucker's reaction alone would be explosive, equal parts grief, guilt, and fury. And it would spark powerful stories about mental health, regret, and the fragility of life. Ashley has always been a fighter, but even fighters sometimes fall.
Why now?
A summer death isn't just about shock value. It's about setting up false storylines that keep viewers glued to their screens. A tragedy now would fuel revenge plots, legal battles, business wars, and personal reckonings well into the holidays. It would remind everyone in Genoa City that life is fleeting, alliances are fragile, and secrets can bury more than reputations. They can bury lives. The writers have been dangling just enough breadcrumbs, strained family dinners, cryptic remarks about not having much time, characters caught in dangerous spirals, that it feels inevitable. Someone is leaving Genoa City in a casket before the leaves turn.
Who's really at risk?
If we're playing odds, the likeliest candidates are Audra for narrative shock, Ashley for emotional weight, and Chance for heroic tragedy. Phyllis is a dark horse. Her survival instincts make her both too predictable and too tempting for a genuine exit.
And Victor?
That would be the nuclear option, one the writers might save for a milestone, not a summer cliffhanger. But as every YNR fan knows, the show loves to surprise us. The one who seems safe today could be gone tomorrow, leaving us reeling as we clutch our coffee cups, asking, did that really just happen? The aftermath. The beauty of a soap death lies not in the loss itself, but in the aftermath. Funerals, will readings, secret confessions, long-lost relatives emerging from the shadows. A single death could fracture alliances, spark rivalries, and breathe new fire into dormant storylines. Imagine Tucker, shattered by Ashley's loss, waging war on the Abbotts. Or Summer, grieving Chance, torn between revenge and forgiveness. Or Nikki, facing life without Victor, forced to become the Empire's matriarch. Death, in Genoa City, is never truly the end. It's the beginning of something darker, sharper, and far more thrilling. So, who's next? That's the question every fan is asking as summer's final episodes unfold. Someone's number is up, and when the curtain falls, Genoa City will never be the same. Because on the young and the restless, death isn't just a tragedy, it's destiny.